But it's
Yeah.
funny. I see Republicans. They would say blue state, blue city, hellholes. Meanwhile, you guys don't even have fucking infrastructure. What the fuck are you talking
Mhm.
about? So then they
No,
focus
we
on
don't
the
even
culture.
have
Go ahead.
trains. Like, we don't have reliable public transportation. We don't have rights over our own body in the state. We don't have
Me neither. That shit's
a
gone here.
living wage. Like, we don't have health care. So yeah, a lot of it is because it's privatized. The grid is privatized and it's independent. So there's no like shared idealistic principles that would, keep energy that people need to survive afloat during these times. And it's so bad. People are out living on the streets, sleeping in the cold. And I mean, we've got Greg Abbott spending I don't know how much busing migrants out to other states, like as a joke, because he's a sick, twisted, sadistic person. And like, this is somebody that millions of people in the state were like, he's a good fit for Texas. You know what I'm saying? So it's like these Republicans, they keep getting all the votes because they're like, oh, these are our ideals. We care about private land and we care about your rights, but they don't. As we clearly see year after year, we are getting absolutely fucked over as constituents and taxpayers and workers.
Stop showing me the failures of capitalism. That's what they
every day.
That's why they do homeless sweeps. That's why they try to get rid of the poor. That's why they do the gentrification. Stop showing me the failures of capitalism.
And while this is happening, while people are feeling the brunt of this poverty has been normalized because these people who live in the South, these people who are going through this, instead of calling out the ruling class and the capitalist class that privatized and weakened their infrastructure, they're worried about drag queen shows. They worry about high school sports and the 10 trans athletes in the whole nation that play sports. So I don't understand.
And whole time, Nick, their motherfucking son in the room plotting on shooting up the motherfucking school. Let's talk about that. Like, let's be real. Let's be real, bro.
That's the thing, though. That wasn't the first shooting, right? That we've had multiple mass shootings in this state, and so people will be like, you'll point out like, oh, the homeless rate is this, or poverty rate is this, or so many kids are hungry every day in the state. And they're like, yeah, but I still have, nothing. Like, they still think, so many people are just like, they defend the free market and are so very vulnerable themselves, and they know it.
Their mind is so colonized that they blame themselves. They know how hard they work. Like they wake up every day, work 50 hours a week, take care of their kids, and then somehow they convince themselves that it's their fault. Oh my God, if only I hustled and grind more, I wouldn't be in my poverty situation. No, nigga, that's not how much harder you would have worked. If you work harder, the only difference is that the ruling class, your manager is going to make more money. And then they're going to cut your ass. They're going to let you go in a few years because your wage is starting to get more expensive. And also they're going to lay you off so they can hire someone at a cheaper wage. That's
after capitalism. They get a bailout.
Yeah,
let's just follow the history. That check comes and then they let go of their people, and then it's celebration time, right? It's holidays. They get to celebrate all their success. One of the things, so I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I haven't been working. I haven't been able to work because it's a hospital unit. Okay, and like it's trauma, and I'm just like, in this seriously fucked up system, how can I feel like I'm not causing harm with what I see and how, you know what I'm saying? Because, and just from a healthcare perspective and just from the people that I know and that I've worked with in the past, they're like, shit is not good. And so that's just one example of like how bad all of it is kind of crumbling right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask anybody what their experience was in an ER recently, and they'll tell you it was probably a fucking nightmare. And that's normalized, right? We think that that's okay. That's normal for this time of year, and it's not. It really isn't. And I think that's that unwell position, that like it's your burden alone that you're sick, or it's your burden alone that you're poor or at risk, or you need, you have basic human needs, and it's all falling apart. And I'm just trying to observe and try to be staying on the revolutionary path, because I think a lot of people are aware and they feel it. and they can sense it, but they don't know how to identify what to call this. Like, end stage capitalism is ongoing at this moment, and they're like, no, I don't want to talk about that. It's like,
this isn't capitalism, Delilah. This is the net capitalism. This like they always
and communists anyway.
Like, no, capitalism has brought us here because this is the end goal of capitalism.
Right.
You can't get anywhere, and like all these people talking about free markets, bro.
They say stuff like it's globalism. It's like, why are you making up terms? It's capitalism. It's late stage capitalism. Stop watering down shit.
Yeah.
What is a free market when the roads can be privatized?
And nothing is free. Nothing is free in this world. Right? Why are we calling it that? That's completely wrong. At this point, water isn't free, air isn't free. You know what I'm saying? Food isn't like none of that. It takes a lot of work to work outside these systems too. I'm learning because everything, we still live under capitalism. Everything has monetary value. It's so hard to build those structures around that.
Yeah, in a free market, as we were saying here, is like it never existed. The capitalist class always chose winners and losers. They said, "Oh my God, the socialists! You guys want to choose winners and losers? You mean we want to end poverty? That's what we want to do." What capitalists do, they get subsidies, they get government contracts to union busters, and they get government contracts to weapon defense manufacturers. They get grants to prisons, and they choose their winners in the capitalist society, and that's how it's always been. When will the American people stop being bootlickers and decide that we are going to be the winners?
Yeah.
The ruling class over there. Oh, well, go. Delilah, you want to chime in?
No, I'm just like, I always think of Elon, man. I'm just like, he's such a frail child. You know what I'm saying? You're like, obviously you're winning your life. Sure you are. Like, these people are so delusional, and it's like, it's harder and harder. The more you wake up, the more you see, and the more, you know what I'm saying, you come kind of outside of yourself. It's harder to refute that truth. And so it's like, at this point, people are either doubling down or they're finally at a place where they can begin to think outside the box. Because you're right, we have a lot of bootlickers. We've got a lot of weak people who are infatuated with like celebrities and worship, this wealthy culture. I know a lot of rich people and they're happy. That's not it. That's not it for, you know what I mean? That's not what makes you happy. That's not what makes you well.
There was a recent trend I saw that was on TikTok where people was lying about the deaths of celebrities. Do you guys see that? And then, I don't know if you guys saw that. And it was a funny trend where you saw people do different reactions whenever people was pranking them, like, "Oh my God, you heard that Samuel Jackson died? Have you heard that Oprah Winfrey died?" And then whenever in the prank videos, I was blown away because these people damn near had a mental breakdown upon hearing a bunch of millionaire fucks. Like, I need to find it. I know Twitter's down right now. I'm literally gonna do a whole nother segment on this because it's literally crazy. Like, people are literally having mental fucking breakdowns over celebrities they never met if they die. I'm not saying that death is a sad thing. I am asking you guys, why is that empathy not felt when someone died because they couldn't afford the medical bills? When that guy who froze to death, why is there no mental breakdown over that? That is what make my skin crawl. Like, if you
because that motherfucker ain't tap dance for me, Nick. He ain't throw a football. He ain't scored a hoop for me. That's why I didn't feel the same way. He ain't sing the songs that I wanted him to sing, that I wanted to hear. That's why I don't feel that type of way. And you know what? When we stop singing those songs, when we stop saying what they want to hear, when we stop throwing the ball in the hoop, and we stop scoring those motherfucking touchdowns, and we start speaking up for revolution and emancipation, they say, shut up and dribble.
Yep.
Shut up and throw, shut up and catch. Shut up and sing, nigga. And like I was telling this one dude, I know he was racist. I was in Boston. I felt it. I said, this motherfucker told me go back to Africa. Can you believe that? I said, do you know what would happen if all the black people just up and went back to where they came from? That means no prison industrial complex. You guys have no NFL. You guys have no NBA. You guys have no sports overall. The fucking MMA. You guys have nothing.
Amazon.
What you gonna do? You gonna watch a whole bunch of white boys run a fucking track meet? Okay then, nigga. Oh, but you need us then. You need us then, but you don't want us to talk on it. You don't want us to talk about our lives. You just want us to go. You want to wind us up and watch us walk like we some type of fucking dolls, like we some type of no. That shit is over. This ain't the NBA strike, nigga. You ain't about to just shut us up. Like this shit is over. Heat is on.
Obama would probably call and try to stop that. Yeah, no, that is a big problem. I think it's this like value on entertainment and value on not being aware and not having to be involved that people are very invested in, obviously. You know, like the NFL players make so much and they're not even free exactly to express themselves, you know? So, oh, America, we're so free here. We're so free. Well, some people can be free, but not everybody can. And if you don't know that fact, you really have, you know, you're really not aware of
the people that don't even see that. The people, and we explain on Nick and CJ, we explain that people that watch corporate media, they are less informed than people who don't pay attention to that shit at all. If you watch MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, you walking around like you're in the land of the free. You think you live in the freest society. You think that Africa, Europe, you think South America is hellholes. You're like, man, I'm so lucky to be American. As you're drowning in medical debt, as you can barely afford your rent. It's insane.
They cut me off my food stamps. What?
Let me show you guys this, and this is on our ongoing theme of the United States being a failed nation. And I like to bring it to DPRK a lot because so many people have been brainwashed about North Korea and the DPRK. Well, they say, oh my God, North Koreans are eating rats in the streets. Guys, there have been food lines. There are food banks in Texas. I know Delilah can speak on this. That was literally miles long.
Yeah.
And look at this headline. I want you guys to speak on it. Hunger, food insecurity haunts millions of men, women, and children Americans. They didn't say thousands.
No, it's actually millions.
Millions, not thousands, millions of men and women and children in America. But go ahead, Delilah. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, so a good indicator that has been consistent for at least the last 5-6 years is child poverty. When you look at the rates of child poverty and food insecurity in children, it's just inclining. You know, the whole time. There's no change. And I pay attention to things like that because I have kids. And, you know, I've been so poor before, like I had to use my credit card to like buy groceries. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm not the only one. I know that like a lot of people have hardships, but it's like, I really did grow up without utilities. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never don't appreciate having a hot shower. So like when you talk to these people, these indoctrinated people who are like, America's the best and you don't know what you're missing. You know, I think that they're just living a life of fear, right? They're so indoctrinated. And that's what controls them. That fear of being insecure, you know, with your food and your privileges. Like, and it's like at this point, we're running on so low. Like your ideals, your definition of happiness is so bare minimum. Like it's not even funny. You know, you think a Tesla's gonna make you happy, or like
they really do. They really do. America was the most unhappiest country because once people escape poverty, they feel that empty hole. And then when they get in their 50s and 60s, let's say they was a successful worker, they were working 50 hours a week, 50, 60 hours a week every day of their life. They screwed over a few people. And then they get 50, 60, and they're like, man, what the fuck did I live my life for? It happens all the time. They realize they wasted their life. They didn't accomplish anything. And this is why there's been a lot of despair in this country. Now, let me show you guys.
They started to yell at young niggas like me and you. Stay off my grass.
Yeah, you're really. No, I was just thinking a lot of the 60-year-olds that I know like can't stop working until they die. There's like no retirement plan because
there's no culture in this country. The culture is work yourself to death and die. Other countries
pretty much
there's no culture here. Like
you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just want to share this with you because like I think that you were talking about like despair and how it's very high in this country. And I understand that. Like, I have mental illness. I worry. A lot of other people are suffering. But, like, collectively, I was just thinking, like, when you think about your decisions that you have to make based off of the lack of healthcare and the lack of securities in this country, like, if I got cancer, like, we've already decided, like, I'm just gonna die, right? Like, same as, like, if I got arrested, bitch, do not bail me out. I'm not going to pay them. So, like, at this point, and it's so fucked up. Like, I'm not happy
that's how we
with
are.
that decision. But, like, at the same point, you know what I'm saying? Do I want to die and leave my family possibly millions of dollars of debt? Like, and the situation, when you think of it that way, like, you think of your life with the monetary value, it is very depressing. It's very depressing because it's like you don't have any value in this system. And I think people really need to understand that this is wrong. It's okay to say that it's wrong. You know, we get a lot of pushback, and I think it's from the elitists and the people who are comfortable.
Yeah.
And they don't want to lose even an ounce of that comfort, you know?
Ryan Grimm.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the class divide.
Yeah, 4 billionaires. That's why I'm like, if I had more time to tell him to suck my fucking dick, I probably would have told him to suck my fucking dick, because you can't tell me. You know what I'm saying?
Charge him $1 million.
You feeling the same weight when these votes are cast. You know what I'm saying? When the shit happens, when they give away billions of our dollars, when they don't help our cities, when they don't help our states and whatnot, you can't tell me that you are feeling the same weight, that you are feeling the same heat, that we are under the same umbrella when the rain comes. You are not. So that's why I said, nigga, people should stay away from people like you, because this isn't your fight. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. A lot of these people have nothing to lose, man. David Pacman, Kyle Kalinske, Crystal Ball, all these rich ass white motherfuckers, they are here. Oh, yes, we just gotta be nicer to the Democrats. And maybe, just maybe, our leaders will do something for us. Our masters do. Man, get the fuck out of here, dog. All this shit is you want to know what's a grift? You want to know what's a grift? Seeing that the Democrats took away your striking power as a worker, and still selling you the message that they are the people for the workers. They are the party for the work. That's a motherfucking grift. I do want even better. My black ass can just start telling motherfuckers to vote Republican. I'll be a motherfucking millionaire.
Big shout to Rome. I mean, sorry, big shout to CJ. We got CJ in chat. But sorry, go ahead, Delilah.
No, I'm just like, I'm laughing because, like, that is so very true. That is so very true. I met a lot of really good, like, dynamic candidates when I ran, and we were just like, oh, I don't know if you could stay. They're gonna offer you this because, you know, like, it is real. Like, the opportunists make it. You know what I'm saying? And then they get so, like, that Anna chick, she gets so up in arms, right, when you criticize her for capping for the police state or for, you know, and it's like, just be honest. You are so comfortable, you can't even stand the thought of losing.
Loyal.
And and so at that point, we are not on the same side. We do not have the same interests. I do not care. You know what I'm saying? And I think we have this, like, culture war where it's like, oh, well, you can't like Jimmy Dore, or somebody said this, and it's like, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. I'm trying to transcend. Do you understand? Like, I'm working on my fucking chakras. I do not want to be burdened with this bullshit. I don't give a fuck what anybody said. I don't care how they feel. I've got shit to do.
Jimmy Dore, he said something I don't like, and he hurt my feelings. I know. Look, you want to help the homeless. I get it. I'm on your side with that. But Jimmy Dore, he hurt my feelings. My heart was.
Yeah. So maybe you shouldn't help those poor people, right?